All right, today's lesson is 8-15, and it's about triangles and the different kinds of triangles. So from the word triangles, if we break that word apart, tri means three, and then of course angles, and this would be an angle right here. This right there is the angle. So it's a shape that has three angles. So of course we know that triangles can come out looking different ways. But it has to have three sides. This was kind of a weird looking one, but it has to have three sides and three angles. So we've got 1, 2, 3 angles right here, like that. All right, so we're going to talk about the different types of triangles there are. So there's two ways to describe triangles. First, we've got their sides. So we can describe them by their sides. So our first one, and some of these words may sound kind of funny. Some of them you've heard before. But the first one is a scalene triangle. Now, in a scalene triangle, you have no congruent sides. That means none of the sides are equal to each other. Okay, so you might have a triangle that looks like this. And then the way we mark that is we say, well, maybe this is 2 feet, this one is 4 feet, and this one is 5 feet. And you notice the little marks I made on them. That shows like this side is a different length than this side, which is a different length than that side. So that's called a scalene triangle when none of the sides are the same. The second one is called an isosceles. And this is where two sides are the same. So it has two congruent sides. One of the ways that I remember isosceles is it has these two S's in there next to each other with an O in between. And so I think of two sides being the same. Oftentimes, this kind of a triangle is going to look something like this. And so this side and this side are exactly the same, and this one's different. So this one might be 3 inches, 3 inches, and 2 inches. And that would be an isosceles triangle. And then the third one is an equilateral. And if you think of this, look, it kind of has the word equal in it. And this is where all of the sides are exactly equal to each other. So this side is equal to this side, which is equal to this side. So if it is 6 centimeters, this one might be 6 centimeters then, and then this one would have to be 6 centimeters. So those are the three different ways to describe triangles using their sides. Now the other three ways that we would describe triangles are by their angles. All right, so with their angles, we have a right triangle, and this is one that has a right angle in it. And if you remember back to our last lesson, a right angle means it's a 90-degree angle, like the edge of a piece of paper, as long as the piece of paper is not rounded. So it might look something like this, and it has that little 90-degree angle in there. That 90 degrees, that little box, it's all a right angle. Okay, and then these two are not right angles. We might have, the second type would be an obtuse. It's kind of a fun word to say. An obtuse triangle. And an obtuse triangle has an obtuse angle. And what that means is it's big, like an obtuse. It's a big angle, so it has to be the angle is bigger than 90 degrees. And it only has to have one of these. So it might look like this. And if you look at that, this angle right here is bigger than the 90-degree angle that we can see up here. So this is an obtuse triangle. Our third one is acute. And I think of this as, oh, it's a cute, what a cute little triangle. And this where all angles, all of the angles are acute. And what that means is not that they're super cute little cuddly guys, is that they're all the angles are less than 90 degrees. So you don't have any 90-degree angles and you don't have any obtuse angles. So it might look like this. And if you look at all three of these angles in here, all three of them are acute. They're all less than 90 degrees. There's no obtuse. So that's an acute triangle. So in tonight's homework, which is going to be page 185 and 186, but on page 185 it says circle all the names that describe the shape. Well, you're going to be able to describe it with two names, one by the angle and one by the sides. And look at, they use the little, so that means that side's the same as that side, and since this one's not marked, that one's not the same. All right, so they mark the sides to show you which ones are the same. It shows you if it has a 90-degree angle. All right, so think about what those are called, and remember, you're going to circle two of these words under each one. And then you're going to sketch a shape that fits the description, if possible. Some of them might not work, and you try them and see if it works. On the other side, page 186, we're going to do some practice with dividing of fractions again. Remember, if it's division, then you need to do the same dot flip or copy dot flip. I think it's called different things in different classrooms, but remember, change your 6 to a fraction, so 6 over 1, and then when you flip it, it'll be 1/6. If it's already multiplication, you don't change anything, don't flip anything. Okay. Don't forget to change 4 and 5/6 to an improper fraction, 2 and 1/5 to an improper fraction, and then multiply it. This is our review from yesterday's lesson with our different quadrilaterals. And then I don't want you to do number 13, so we'll skip number 13. So pages 185 and 186.